The federal government is in a shutdown. House Republicans have left the building. But don't worry, construction of Trump's gold-plated White House ballroom is going to keep going. Seriously, that's still ongoing, even as Americans' healthcare costs are going up, like this Georgia resident, whose healthcare premiums are scheduled to triple because Republicans refuse to extend middle-class tax credits. And that's what this entire shutdown is about, healthcare. The cost of healthcare is going through the roof, and until Republicans, who, by the way, are in charge of the White House, the Senate, and the House, show some leadership and work with Democrats to bring down the cost of healthcare, the government will stay shut down. I'm Curtis Bradley Brown, director of DNC Studios, and your host for today. It's October 2nd, day 2 of the Republican government shutdown, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. You know, it used to be that presidential administrations would try to follow the law and generally keep government and politics separate. But right now, if you go to the official government websites for the Department of Justice, Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, you'll be met with these very political banners. And if that, or the fact that the White House is targeting Democratic states with its first wave of cuts to federal projects following the shutdown, isn't enough, here's Trump threatening to use the shutdown to further go after Democrats.
They are shutting it down. We're not shutting it down. We don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever. I told you, we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Republicans shut the government down because they don't want to bring down the cost of your health care. And they could have. They've known for months that costs were going to go up next year without action. And they could have acted when they passed their big, beautiful bill, but no, they decided to make private jets fully tax deductible instead. They could have negotiated with Democrats over the past weeks, but they refused. And after cutting Democrats completely out of the process and cutting health care by over $1 trillion in their budget bill, Republicans are acting surprised that we're here. And this shutdown is about healthcare. The shutdown and the pain that it's inflicting on Americans will end as soon as Republicans do the right thing and agree to work with Democrats to save healthcare. And until then, workers in Virginia will continue to stay furloughed, and a critical infrastructure project in New Jersey will stay stalled. And probably not what Winsome Earl-Sears in Virginia wants to be hearing. That is, if she ever stops running away from voters. And less than ideal for Republicans in New Jersey, who just admitted that raising taxes is on the table.
Taxes are on the table, but I'd be careful of millionaire taxes. They're employing us. They're also
new taxes are on the table in New Jersey in your administration?
Well, you have to look at it. You have to look at the whole thing. But what I'm saying is millionaires, we can't just beat up the millionaires. The millionaires many times are our employers. They're employing us.
That's right. There are critical elections happening this November in New Jersey, Virginia, and across the country. And for today's 60 Candidates in 60 Days Spotlight, we're staying in the Garden State to tell you about Carolyn Rush, who's running for the General Assembly in District 1. As a retired engineer, Carolyn brings a wealth of experience and dedication to the table. With a strong focus on addressing the housing crisis, improving mental health, and advocating for veterans and working New Jerseyans, Carolyn Rush is committed to bringing positive change to South Jersey. So to make calls, knock doors, and volunteer with the Rush campaign, go to rushforassembly.com/volunteer. You can find that link in our video description below. Thanks so much for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We're here every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.